The farm is gone next week. Let that sink in for a second. We are not talking about a sale, we are not talking about a negotiation, and we are certainly not talking about Zach or Jeremy finally taking over the legacy. We are talking about bulldozers, demolition crews, and the complete erasure of the big house. If the leaked information swirling around the darker corners of the internet and local Oregon real estate circles is true, everything we know about Roloff Farms is about to be wiped off the map. We have received insider reports and exclusive theories that suggest the for sale sign was just a decoy. The real deal is happening in the shadows, and it is terrifying. The rumor is a secret auction, a backroom deal orchestrated to bypass the family, bypass the fans, and cash out fast. And the wildest part? The one person standing between the big house and a pile of rubble isn't Matt, and it isn't Amy. It's Chris Merrick. You need to stay with me because what I am about to break down changes the entire history of Little People, Big World. We need to look at the facts that have been hiding in plain sight. For months, we have watched the tension on the show. We've seen Matt complain about the maintenance, we've seen Karen hinting about retiring to Arizona, and we've seen the absolute breakdown of negotiations with the twin boys. But while we were distracted by the family drama, something else was happening on the perimeter of the property. Local neighbors and sources have reported seeing surveyors on the land. Now you might say, so what? Matt is always building something. But these weren't Matt's usual crew. These weren't the guys building a new barn or fixing a pumpkin patch attraction. These were corporate surveyors. Men in suits with commercial-grade equipment, the kind used for high-density residential planning. And here is the kicker. There were no cameras. TLC was not filming. If Matt Roloff is doing a project, he wants it on camera. He wants the credit. He wants the content. When Matt Roloff does something in silence, it means he doesn't want anyone to know, especially Amy. This brings us to the big house. This structure is iconic. It is the heart of the show. But to a commercial developer, it is a liability. It is a custom-built, quirky, high-maintenance structure that sits on prime real estate. If you are a developer looking to build luxury condos or a high-end gated community, you don't want the big house. You want the dirt underneath it. This is where the secret auction theory gains massive traction. We are hearing whispers of a pocket listing. In the real estate world, a pocket listing is a property that is for sale but isn't listed on the MLS. It's not on Zillow. There is no sign in the yard. It is marketed exclusively to a private list of high net worth investors and developers. It is how you sell a property when you don't want your neighbors, or in this case, your ex-wife and children, to know until the ink is dry. Let's theorize on the motivation here. Why would they do this? Why the secrecy? Connect the dots. Karen has made it very clear she does not want to live in the big house. She has said it feels like Amy's house. She wants a fresh start. Matt is tired. He is tired of the fighting, tired of the upkeep, and frankly, he seems tired of the emotional baggage attached to that land. If they list it publicly, it becomes a circus. The fans show up, the kids get involved, the media goes crazy. But a secret auction to a developer? That is a quick, clean break. They sign the papers, the developer hands them a check for millions, and the bulldozers show up the next week. Once the house is leveled, the drama is over, and we get the cash. That is the mindset we are looking at here. It is brutal, it is cold, and it makes perfect financial sense if you have zero emotional attachment to the legacy. But they forgot one variable in this equation. They forgot that Amy didn't just marry a random guy. She married Chris Merrick. And what does Chris Merrick do for a living? He is a seasoned real estate agent in the area. He knows the market, he knows the players, and most importantly, he hears the chatter. You can hide a sale from the public, but you cannot hide a massive commercial development deal from other real estate professionals. The rumor mill suggests that Chris started noticing things. Maybe it was a strange look from a colleague. Maybe it was a piece of mail that shouldn't have been left out. Or maybe it was just his gut instinct telling him that Matt was being too quiet. Matt is never quiet unless he is plotting. Amy began sensing it too. We have analyzed recent footage and social media posts, and there is a shift in her energy. She has mentioned feeling unsettled. She has mentioned that Matt has been evasive about the property lines and the future of the tours. Amy knows Matt better than anyone. She knows his tell. When Matt is planning a big surprise, he gets giddy. But when he is hiding something, he gets defensive. And lately, the reports suggest Matt has been incredibly defensive. When asked about the surveyors, the theory is that Matt denied everything. Just checking property lines, Amy. Just standard procedure. But standard procedure doesn't involve commercial zoning experts. Amy smelled a rat, but she didn't have the proof. She didn't have the smoking gun. That is where Chris comes in. Imagine the scene. Chris is at his office, or maybe grabbing coffee with a fellow broker. The topic of the Roloff estate comes up. Not the pumpkin patch, but the development opportunity. The other broker assumes Chris knows. After all, he's married to Amy. He's practically family. The broker slips up. He mentions the flyer. He mentions the date. Are you going to the auction on Friday, Chris? It's going to be a bloodbath for that land. Chris freezes. He realizes at that moment that they have been played. There is no plan to keep the farm in the family. There is no plan to preserve the legacy. The plan is liquidation. This is the turning point. This is the moment the show stops being a reality soap opera and turns into a corporate thriller. Chris realizes he needs evidence. He can't just go to Amy with hearsay. She is already emotional about the farm. If he tells her Matt is selling it to be demolished without proof, it will cause World War III. And if he's wrong, he looks like the bad guy. He needs to see this pocket listing with his own eyes. According to our exclusive theories, Chris uses his network to get his hands on the invite list. And there it is. The flyer that confirms everyone's worst nightmares. Prime development opportunity, Roloff estate, invitation only. The description doesn't talk about the memories. It doesn't talk about the wedding barn or the castle. It talks about acreage. It talks about zoning potential. It talks about clearance for multi-unit residential construction. That is real estate code for condos. That is code for demolition. The auction is scheduled for 3 days from now. 3 days. The clock is ticking. The betrayal here is staggering. If this theory holds true, Karen and Matt were planning to sign this deal, take the money, and announce it to the family after the fact. Sorry guys, it's done. The new owners take possession on Monday. We're moving to Arizona. It would have been a blindside of epic proportions. It would have robbed the twins of any final chance to reclaim their childhood home. It would have robbed Amy of the peace of mind that her life's work still stood. And it would have robbed us, the viewers, of the farm we have watched for 20 years. But why now? Why the rush? Market analysis might give us a clue. The housing market is fluctuating. Interest rates are up. Maybe Matt feels the window is closing. Maybe he needs a massive infusion of cash to fund the dream house he is building with Karen. Or maybe, just maybe, this is about control. By selling to a developer who will flatten the place, Matt ensures that no one else wins. If he can't be the king of Roloff Farms, he will make sure there is no kingdom left to rule. It is a scorched earth policy. Chris Merrick is now holding the grenade. He has the flyer. He knows the time. He knows the place. He rushes home to Amy. You can imagine the conversation. Amy is likely in the kitchen, perhaps cooking, completely unaware that her past is being sold to the highest bidder. Chris walks in, his face pale. He puts the flyer on the counter. Amy, you need to sit down. Matt isn't just selling the house, he's destroying it. The shock turns to horror, and then, hopefully, to rage. This isn't just a business deal. This is personal. This is an erasure of history. But what can they do? It is Matt's property. Technically, he has the right to sell it to whomever he wants. If he wants to sell it to a condo developer, that is his legal right. Or is it? This is where the investigation deepens. This is where we have to look at the history of the land itself. Is there something buried in the paperwork? Something from decades ago that Matt has forgotten? We are going to dig into the legalities, but right now, the stakes couldn't be higher. The auction is in 72 hours. It is a sealed bid, invitation-only event. Matt and Karen think they are in the clear. They think they have pulled off the heist of the century. They are likely already looking at paint swatches for the Arizona house, clinking glasses, laughing about how they dodged the family drama. They have no idea that Chris has the invite. They have no idea that the secret auction has been compromised. And they have absolutely no idea that Amy Roloff is about to go to war. The psychological aspect of this cannot be overstated. For Karen, this is the final victory. She has been painted as the villain for so long, and in her mind, this sale vindicates her. It proves that this was just a business asset all along. It removes the physical reminder of Amy's marriage to Matt. As long as that big house stands, Karen is living in Amy's shadow. But if the big house is a pile of rubble and a row of condos, that shadow is gone. For Matt, it is about ego. He built it, he can destroy it. He refuses to let his children dictate his financial future. He refuses to admit that maybe, just maybe, he overplayed his hand with Zach and Jeremy. So here we stand. The countdown has begun. The developers are preparing their bids. The bulldozers are being fueled up. The secret is out, but only to a select few. The question is, what is Chris Merrick's play? He can't just storm in and demand they stop. He needs leverage. He needs a weapon. And as we are about to find out, the Roloff farm has secrets even Matt doesn't know about. We are tracking reports that Chris and Amy are currently scrambling, digging through old county records, looking for a miracle. And they might just find one. But they have to move fast because the for sale sign is coming down and the demolition notices are ready to be posted. Hold on tight because what happens in the next 48 hours of this timeline is going to blow your mind. We are moving from suspicion to confrontation. The secret auction is the battleground, and the weapon is a piece of paper that has been gathering dust for 30 years. We are deep in the danger zone now. The clock is ticking down, and the silence from the big house is deafening. But while Matt Roloff is keeping his mouth shut, sources suggest that someone else wasn't quite as careful. This brings us to the most explosive piece of this entire puzzle, the smoking gun that turns this from a sad real estate sale into a calculated betrayal. We have to talk about the hot mic theory. According to leaks circulating among production insiders and audio engineers who have worked on similar reality sets, there is footage, or at least audio, that never made it to air. It allegedly captures Karen Chandler in a moment of unguarded honesty that reveals the true motivation behind this secret auction. The setting is a lunch date, seemingly off camera, or perhaps during a break in filming where the microphones were still live. Karen is speaking to a friend, unaware that the audio feed is being monitored. The quote we are hearing about is chilling in its simplicity. Once the house is leveled, the drama is over, and we get the cash. I'm done with the mud. I'm done with the memories. We take the payout and we go to Arizona. Let's break that down. Level the house. She isn't talking about selling the home to a nice family who will cherish the custom low counters and the whimsical architecture. She is talking about demolition. She is talking about erasure. This confirms the villain's plan narrative perfectly. For years, we have watched Karen navigate the complex dynamics of the Roloff family. We've seen her try to play the peacemaker, but we've also seen the side eye, the whispered comments to Matt, the subtle steering of the ship. This secret auction is the masterstroke. It solves all her problems at once. By selling to a commercial developer who plans to build condos, she ensures that the property is irrevocably changed. There is no going back. Zach can't come back in 5 years and buy the farm if the farm is a parking lot for a condo complex. Jeremy can't inherit the legacy if the legacy has been flattened. It is a scorched earth policy designed to sever Matt's tie to his past